The first thing I noticed was the silence. Not the kind you hear in a quiet room. The kind you hear inside a cockpit when a system suddenly stops answering. And in aviation, silence is rarely innocent. My sister Maya was 30,000 feet above the crowd, leading the annual airshow formation. Cameras everywhere. Thousands watching. Her jet slicing through the sky like a blade. But down in the operations room, I was staring at a blinking warning on my monitor. Hydraulic pressure anomaly. Then another alert flashed. Control latency detected. My fingers froze over the keyboard, because I knew that aircraft, and I knew something was about to fail. The strange part? No one else in the room seemed to notice. Or care. To them, I was just the junior systems analyst. The quiet one behind the screens. The kid who watched numbers while real pilots took the glory. To Maya, I was a joke. She made that very clear the night before. It happened at dinner. The whole family was there. My parents, a few cousins, and Maya sitting at the center like the star she believed she was. She had always been the golden one, the decorated pilot, the headline name at air shows. And me? I was the little brother who works with computers. When my mother asked about my job, Maya laughed. Not politely, not kindly, loudly. "So what exactly do you do again?" she said, swirling her wine. "Watch planes on a screen?" A few people chuckled. I stayed quiet. She leaned forward, smiling like a predator that had already won. "Meanwhile," she continued, "some of us actually fly them." More laughter. I remember the exact moment the table got quiet again. Because I looked at her, and I smiled. Someone has to make sure they don't fall out of the sky. She rolled her eyes. The conversation moved on, but something inside me didn't. Maya and I weren't always like this. When we were kids, she used to drag me to the airfield near our house. We'd lie in the grass watching jets roar overhead. She'd tell me she would fly one someday. I believed her. She was fearless. But somewhere along the way, that fearlessness turned into arrogance. Success fed it. Awards fed it. Applause fed it. And people like me? We became background noise. Still, I never hated her. Not even last night. But the thing about systems is they tell the truth people don't want to hear. And that morning, the system was screaming. Back in the operations room, the anomaly spread across my screen like a disease. Hydraulic channel B dropping. Flight control sync delay. That jet shouldn't have been flying. I opened the maintenance logs. Clean. Too clean. Which meant someone had bypassed something. Or ignored something. Then I saw the detail that made my stomach drop. Manual override enabled. By the pilot. By Maya. Of course. She always hated automated safeguards. Said they slowed her down. Up in the sky, her jet rolled into the first formation maneuver. Crowd probably cheering. Meanwhile, the pressure numbers kept falling. Another alert. Control surface instability predicted. 30 seconds. Maybe less. If the hydraulics collapsed mid-maneuver, the jet wouldn't just stall. It would snap. And if it snapped during a formation show, it wouldn't be just her. 4 aircraft in tight proximity. 4 pilots. Thousands of people below. I heard Maya's voice in my head. Watch planes on a screen? Yeah, that was my job. And right now, the screen was telling me my sister had just killed herself. Unless I did something. The protocol was simple. Notify command. Wait for approval. Send warning to pilot. But that process could take 2 minutes. She didn't have 2 minutes. I opened the system control panel. The one junior analysts technically weren't supposed to use. The one that allowed remote override. My supervisor was across the room, chatting about the show schedule. No one was watching me. On my screen, Maya's jet began its vertical climb. Hydraulic pressure dropping faster now. 20 seconds. I hovered over the command. Remote flight control lock. It would freeze the aircraft's control, inputs, and shift stabilization to the ground system. Pilots hated it. It felt like the plane had been hijacked, but it would keep the aircraft stable long enough to disengage the failing system. 15 seconds. I thought about dinner, her laughter, her smug smile. But that wasn't why I pressed the button. I pressed it because despite everything, she was still my sister. The moment I locked the controls, the telemetry stabilized. The aircraft stopped responding to her aggressive inputs. Stabilizers corrected automatically. Hydraulics leveled into emergency compensation mode. Across the radio channel, I heard shouting. Maya 1 to control. Who locked my jet? My supervisor finally noticed my screen. What did you do? Saved the formation, I said. 3 seconds later, the failing hydraulic channel collapsed exactly as predicted. If Maya had still been pulling that maneuver, the jet would have torn itself apart. Instead, the stabilization system carried her safely through the motion. The formation broke early. The show ended abruptly. But nobody died. An hour later, Maya stormed into the operations room, still in her flight suit, still furious. "You hijacked my aircraft." Her voice shook the glass walls. "You embarrassed me in front of the entire show." Everyone in the room watched us. I turned my monitor toward her. The telemetry graph glowed on the screen. Hydraulic failure curve. Timestamp. System collapse prediction. And the moment my override activated, her eyes scanned it. Her anger slowly drained away, because she understood exactly what it meant. I leaned back in my chair. Calm. Quiet. "The plane didn't fail," I told her. "You did." Silence swallowed the room. For the first time in years, Maya had nothing to say. And for the first time in years, she finally looked at me like I wasn't the junior anymore.